Hello everybody, welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this is Wine Library TV. So today I've decided to bring the thunder, because that's just what I want to do. And you know, after seeing all those wines that you guys submitted yesterday of things that you wanted to try, it kind of made me in a very interesting state of mind, salivating towards a little bit better wine, something a little bit more exciting and interesting and intriguing and thought-provoking and profound and all that good jazz, because you know what, I deserve it. I want to do it, and you know, more importantly, a lot of you like to see me taste big-time stuff, so today we are bringing the thunder. Before we bring the thunder, as you may see, a big bucket of pickles. As many of you original Vaniacs know, I love pickles. I love pickles so much that one of the new limited edition t-shirts coming out from WLTV is the pickle t-shirt. And these are going to be on sale very shortly. We're super happy about them. You're going to love these t-shirts. You might see the swag if you want to check it out. It's right above me here. And I'm going to give this pickle t-shirt away today. And how am I going to do that? I'm going to give it to the person that does something, and I'm going to come up with that in a little bit. I got a really good idea, actually. So, let's move on to the wines, because don't forget, this is a wine show. You may not know that. Right off the bat, we're bringing serious heat. This is the Roger Sobon 2004 Les Secrets de Sobon Chateauneuf de Pape. This is $250 US, 95 points, Robert Parker. We've got the big glass out today because that's how we do in the WL hood. Yeah. So, anyway, very excited about trying this. As many of you know, I am a sucker for a good bottle of Rhone wine. And you know, this is a $250,000 bottle of wine, so it's bringing a lot of price tag with it, but it's also bringing a lot of heat. Originally scored 96 to 100 points by Parker. It has been downgraded to 95 points. Poor wine, right? 95 points. Huge score. Really excited about trying this. Let's give this a whirl. Really nice dark color. Chateauneuf de Pape, you know, a nice blend of many of the grapes in the Rhone Valley. This is a predominantly Syrah-based wine, excuse me. This is going to be real. I'm going to get real cozy today because this is one of the few, you know, right now my palate is sending me a Chinese star, a triangle-shaped piece of paper, you know, like, you know what I'm talking about. I'm about to fall. All right. You know, like in high school when you would make that, like, this kind of thing, and then you would pass it to the girl and be like, you know, you'd pass it along the class and you'd say, you know, you'd open it and it would say, do you like me? And it would say yes, no. In like 4th grade, I was scared of girls, so I'd make a box that said maybe because I didn't want to be mean and send it back. Right now, my palate is saying to me, do you like me? And I'm checking off yes multiple times because what I'm bringing the palate today is the best 4-bottle combo we've ever done on WLTV. And you know what? In honor of that, I recommend, I am strong-arming you, I'm begging and pleading you to open up some really nice wines this weekend. Why? Because we're extremely lucky. We live on Earth. Though some of the aliens kind of disagree. But, you know, we live on Earth. You know, we're very fortunate to have whatever you have. You know, you have to thank your family, your friends. As I continue to get older, I realize how lucky I am, obnoxiously lucky, and I really want to hold on dearly to my friends and family and only toast to health. And so that's what I'm going to do to you right now because we're very deep. We're getting very cozy together. We're friends now. And you know what? I really feel family with all of you. So I'm going to toast this wine to everybody's health because everything else is easy. So, off the soapbox, back into the wine, bringing enormous clarity and bringing a lot of flavor on your nose, getting a really interesting dusty charcoal aspect mixed in with a beautiful sweet cherry jam flavor, extremely extracted, very viscous. Smells like extremely fresh raspberry cherry jam if you just dumped your hand into it. If you went to like the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania and went to some of those farms in different places, this is pure fruit on the nose. Again, mixed in with a beautiful kind of charcoal smokiness. Nice. Let's give it a whirl. God, I love Chateauneuf de Pape. If you've never had a Chateauneuf de Pape, you can buy one a tenth of this price that a lot of times rate in the 90 to 92 range, which gets everybody excited. And but more importantly, for $25, you can find world class, not average, not solid. I mean, extremely solid to almost world class Chateauneuf de Pape in that price point. Now, this is very expensive, very sought after. People really go after this wine. It's a small production run. It is obviously better than a lot of those wines, but definitely not 10 times better. Definitely not. You can buy a case of good Chateauneuf de Pape for the price of this bottle. That being said, this wine is kicking my face in with a power drill of fruit. I mean, I am absolutely shocked by the overall complexity, maturity, and drinkability of this wine at such a young age, only being open for a couple hours. This is the kind of wine that has the backbone structure and complexity and tannins and really overall ripe fruit that makes me believe that this wine will last for 20 to 30 years easy like Jeezy. I mean, just very simply will age gracefully for 30 years, but is bringing the thunder today. This is one you can consume today, which is outrageous to me, but it's true. I'm gonna have to be careful today because you can get real scary in a quick second with these kind of wines. This wine is a complete palate coater. It's got extreme explosion to it. I love the little black pepper flavor I'm getting on there. I'm getting a little bit of cedar box on the finish too. Nice hint of oak, but not overdone. All in all, as good as wine gets, as good as Chateauneuf de Pape gets. I'm going 96 plus on this. I think Parker was much more in line the first time around, downgrading a little bit. Definitely not a 100-point wine, but 96 plus. Again, $250. This is expensive. So I'm going to actually probably tell a lot of people to pass on this because I just believe you can buy a case of wine for this price point. That being said, if you hit the lotto, if you go to a nice restaurant at somebody's expense, if you find this randomly in a bush, drink it. It is completely spectacular. Let's move on. This is the Frescoboldi Castelgiocondo 1999 Reserva Ripa al Convento. This is 97 points Wine Spectator and 100 US dollars. Castelgiocondo makes some of the best Brunello in the world. Again, 97 points, Wine Spectator, 100 bones. Just a single Benjamin will get you this bottle of wine, so I appreciate that. Unlike the 2.5 it takes to get that. And again, great score, and who doesn't love a beautiful, polished, explosive Brunello? I know I do. I'm a big fan of the Sangiovese grape, and the Brunellos tend to be completely spectacular when done right. And again, another category where you can be extremely satisfied from $35 to $50. So this is very much on the high end, but we're kind of, treating ourselves today. I'm sure there's something in your lives. A lot of people are going to see today's episode and say, well, that's crazy. Why would I buy these kind of bottle of wines? But you know what? You're doing something in your life that you're spending money on that nobody understands. For example, me, Gary Vaynerchuk, I buy 7 to 10 NFL jerseys each year of 3rd and 4th string New York Jets. Why, you ask? Because I like seeing their faces when I run to the field, right up close, yell, I get loud, and they see that I'm wearing their jersey, and they say, my God, my mother doesn't even have that football jersey, because, they're like a rookie or a 3rd string, and that moment right there, that's worth the $100 investment. You may buy golf clubs, great garden equipment, whatever it may be, a new computer system, HD TV. I would never buy super high def radio, all that stuff. It's not my theme. But a $100 bottle of wine may be your thing, or maybe somebody else's thing. So it's not for you to judge if $100 or $250 is an outrageous price. That being said, you can definitely get 2 quality Brunellos for the price of just this. But let's see how great this really is. Right off the bat, it is bringing enormous. Just pitch black color for you. Really, really dark. Very intriguing nose. I'm getting a little bit of orange peeled mixed with basil. Very wild combo that I haven't come across often. But it's there, and it's kind of good. That's actually very good. I'm getting a little hint of tobacco as well. Some dark currant flavors as well. A little bit of wood, get a little bark action. Nice nose, but definitely not as profound as Sauvignon. Man. Tremendous cinnamon explosion. on the mid palate. And I'm as big a fan of Cinnamon Toast Crunch as anybody out there. So I like this so far. That being said, beautiful sour cherry integration. Almost like a sour cherry patch, like a big bowl of sour cherries. And then you take the thickest, gooeyest Hershey's syrup and pour it on top. Lots of cinnamon on top of that. Mix it all up, and it's a beautiful dessert. This wine is a beautiful dessert. It's got a tremendous fruity, chocolatey explosion. I feel like I'm in a cereal commercial from 1980, but I may be. But this wine is extremely classy, well-structured, long finish. Still tasting this wine as I'm describing this tasting note. An absolutely beautiful bottle of wine. And the first thought that popped in my mind, right away, was fresh ravioli, mushroom raviolis with some Parmesan cheese on it. You know, there's something to be said about those classic combos. And if you're very lucky, not just lucky, but very lucky, and can afford this bottle of wine, I highly recommend for a special occasion, an anniversary, something of that nature. This wine is bringing the thunder, and that's what we expected it to do. I'm going to go 96 points on this as well. Not that little plus that I gave the Sauvignon because it's a little bit more my style. And don't forget, my points are just for me. You could be totally in a different direction. But boy, if you're a fan of the Super Tuscan, Sassicaia, or Celaya, this to me is a better bargain. This is a more intriguing more intriguing Italian red wine, and something that I just didn't expect. Actually, it's actually outperforming what I thought it would. I mean, this is really, really good. Real good. I like today. All right, let's move on. This is the Vega Sicilia 1995 Unico from Ribera del Duero, and this is a legendary wine that everybody knows. This is a big time wine, extremely sought after by many collectors. This wine comes in at the low price of $255 a bottle. And so this is probably worth, what, 10 bucks, 15 bucks? But it's gone. Oh, you get mad, right? I like when you guys get mad. You guys always call it, why are you wasting such great wine? Well, watch this. You mad at me? Watch this. Bam! 40 bones, gone! And don't take me as a jerk. I'm just doing that for fun. You know, of course, I don't want to waste money like anybody else, especially coming from $0 like my family and I did. But that being said, I have to rinse the glass and I have to give you the tasting note. That's what you expect from me. And please, don't pee on me just because I waste a lot of wine. So now let's get into the wine, and that's going to be a lot of fun because so far everything's been fun today. This has got tremendous color as well. I mean, once again, bring beautiful, rounded red fruit colored. Just not as dark as the Brunello prior to it, but great color. Let's give it a whirl. Totally different. All right, we've got a totally different wine here now. What I'm getting here is a little bit of, Wisconsin and Iowa and, and Green Bay. I'm getting Green Bay, Wisconsin's pretty funny. I'm getting a barley soup kind of aspect. I smell almost like corn stalks. It's very grainy. It's almost like if this was like, not Captain, maybe Fruity Pebbles, this is like grape nuts. You're getting a totally different style on the nose. Very intriguing. I love that. I'm getting a little hint almost of like balsamic vinegar on the nose. Very cool old world flavors coming through on the nose. I'm getting some really intriguing sherry-type flavor profiles on this wine. Almost like a caramel butterscotch on the finish. Light to medium-bodied, definitely not a huge wine. Excuse me, medium-bodied, not light. A medium-bodied wine. Great dark flavors that get very mellowed out quickly. It's almost like a blueberry transforming into a strawberry. With Transformers coming up, huge shout out to Transformers. Who wants to see that with me? Eric, are you coming? We're doing like the midnight thing, right? Eric Kastner back in the house, guys. Back from RailsConf. It's good to have him. Always brings a little extra energy. No diss on you, Chris Mott. I love you. Really nice wine, but I have to admit, not because it's old world, because the flavor profile I'm completely in tune with. I don't need the carnival cotton candy explosion. I actually prefer, the dirty dead mouses and, the rotten tomatoes and all that intriguing stuff. Dirty, like the shoe that you fish out of the swamp. I'll bite that stuff. I'm telling you I will. That being said, it's too light and a little bit too shallow for me. It's just not going in depth, and this is not of the caliber of the other two wines for sure. It's polished, it's elegant, it's it's almost like meeting the queen, but she has no depth to her conversation. That's how I kind of look at this wine. Pretty good analogy for me, if I may say so myself. I'm gonna go 91 points on this wine, and so obviously that is a massive pass considering the price, considering the fact that there are wines that I would rather buy a full case of that will come in less than this bottle price that I believe are as good as this wine. Sorry, Vega. I hope they let me go back because I had one of the best meals I've ever had there. And finally, a wine I'm very excited to be tasting, a wine that's gotten a lot of exposure in the wine world, has been talked about quite a bit, is extremely sought after, and something that I am absolutely positively enthusiastic about tasting, since I actually have not tasted it in a long, long time. And so what we have here for you, see how excited I am, I'm forgetting my routine, is the Chateau Léoville Pouffier 2003 Saint Julien, 62% Cabernet, 28% Merlot, 8% Petit Verdot, and 2% Cabernet Franc, $130 US. Those started out in the 40s and 50s just a couple of years ago on futures. See what I mean? 98 points, Robert Parker. So, let's give this a whirl. Predominantly Cab, good chunk of Merlot, about a quarter of Merlot, so really nice, classic, typical blend from this area. This is an extremely hot wine. Everybody's been talking about it. All my collector customers and consumers have been buying this up, trading it, selling it, buying it, doing it, I don't know, spinning the bottle with it, whatever they want. I mean, it's that hot. Especially the spinning the bottle part. So I'm extremely excited about trying this again. I almost don't recall. And that's why I have my corked account now, Eric, so I can put in my tasting notes. See where I'm going with that? So let's give this a whirl. Really nice color. Very intriguing. Classical bell peppers mixed in. There's a little bit of V8 juice coming in through, so you're getting some of that classic, vegetable aspect that I kind of adore. I am getting a black cassis kind of, really nice currant cassis aspect to it. I don't know why, but I'm going to say it. It kind of reminds me of Lincoln Logs a little bit. I don't know where that comes from. It's probably Lincoln Logs circa 1999 when I was garage sailing, not the 1980 when I played with them. So, you buy Lincoln Logs at a garage sale with, you buy them for $1 or something for $20 on eBay. But, really the reason those probably remind me a little more is this kind of smells like a cellar, like a basement or an attic. It's got that mustiness, it's got that cobweb aspect, it's got that hidden treasure somewhere in this garage sale kind of nose to it. Let's give it a whirl. So the nose was very good. I have to admit, bar none, this had, wow, the silkiness that this wine attacked my, if you might have noticed my quick reaction, I could not believe how smooth it was on the initial attack. A lot of times you get that silky, smooth finish, but this legitimately, it was smooth as a baby's behind, as I like to say. Riding a cloud, all those analogies I like to talk about being so silky. It is really, wow. Wow. This is the kind of wine you beg to have. This is a polished old world wine with beautiful extracted fruit. Now, 2003 was a hot vintage. I call it the kangaroo year in Bordeaux. So that is not mysterious or shocking that it's bringing so much fruit. But this is the wine, guys. This is that wine. Right there. This is the wine where we can all hold hands and be friends. Where old meets new. And we come together to create the perfect balance and harmony in human civilization on a wine that really brings the two worlds together. I can see where Parker's going with this wine. The wine is extremely good. This is by far the best since maybe the 90 that I had, which 82. This is real good. This has got structure, black currant, black cassis, red cherries, beautiful raspberry. It's a smorgasbord of fruit flavors, a big fruit salad. Also, with secondary layers of tobacco that's coming through, which I love, that combo when it comes through beautifully. This is more tobacco smoke than actually biting into a cigar. getting really, really ripe, candied flavors on the finish. Smooth as a wine gets for a young wine. This is a 96-point wine, but it's probably a 97-point wine because of its smoothness, and then it's probably a 98-point wine because it puts it all together. I think Parker's really on board here. I'm going to go 97 plus, but this is ultimate Bordeaux to me. I have to agree with him. I know some people don't. I just don't see how they can think that for a minute. This is a wine that has got everything going for it. It's kind of like Roger Federer in the zone, Tiger Woods, Jordan. I don't even want to say Jordan. Patrick Ewing's better. That being said, this is the kind of wine that I'm looking for. I appreciate the price. I would have appreciated it if I bought it on futures. I wish I had 10 cases of this wine on futures. That's how sick this wine is, because at $40 or $50 when it came out on futures, it was an absolute steal. The market's done its thing. Look for the same thing that happened in 2005s. You're going to see wines that were $40 be $150 in the next couple of years. It's a sad progression on the demand of Bordeaux, but unlike the other wines, these wines from Bordeaux are that sought after worldwide, where people don't care about 97-point spectator. So, it's sad because the Bordeaux, what is it, like a sand clock or what is it? Sand clock? Hourglass. Thank you, Eric. Sand clock. An hourglass is running out on our beautiful Bordeaux. Once again, this wine reminds me, this LP reminds me why Bordeaux is really tough to beat. And yeah, 97 plus. I am lucky to taste these wines today. This was a big time show. Sorry to the Vega. Jay Miller scored at 97 points. I don't think I mentioned that. I'm down on that. Question of the day. What area of wine, whether it's winemaking, the marketing, the selling, the scoring, don't get too philosophical on me and try to become Nostradamus and predict stuff. Just tell me flat out, from your gut, what area of wine is most confusing to you? I find them all confusing. Because you, with a little bit of me, comments are down here. We're changing the wine world, aren't we?